Did you know that in Kosovo, locals speak of a creature known as the Striga, a witch from Albanian folklore that, according to stories, still roams the mountains at night? The Striga appears as an old woman during the day, often begging for food or water in remote villages. People say if you refuse her, she will return at night as a shadow with glowing red eyes and a mouthful of jagged teeth. It is said that she can drain the life from you as you sleep, leaving your body pale and cold by morning. Some villagers claim to have seen her tapping at windows with long clawed fingers. One chilling story tells of a shepherd who stayed in a mountain hut during a snowstorm. He heard scratching on the wooden walls all night. In the morning, he found deep claw marks carved into the frozen wood, and the snow around the hut marked with bare human footprints that led into the forest. Even today, older people in rural Kosovo keep garlic and silver coins above their doors, just in case the Striga comes knocking.
Stories Part 74. I have a friend who is a trail ranger. Basically a ranger who can't get you in trouble. He told me about this time he was gathering illegally placed wildlife cameras and knocking down hunting stands with another actual ranger. The other ranger wasn't feeling well, so he said he was going to head back as it's a 1-hour ATV ride. Friend finished up the last one when he heard voices. Keep in mind he's far off the beaten path. He called out and no one replied. It was getting dark, so he started to head back and found out that his ATV wouldn't start. He then noticed that the battery was not connected anymore. He reconnected it and started to drive, but it wasn't going fast at all. Less than half a mile later the whole thing died. He radioed back basically saying, "Hey guys, I need someone to come pick me up." They told him yes, but it would take an hour. He asked if the other guy got back, and they said no. He settled down and started a small fire, but it didn't take long before he heard voices again. It's now dark, and the voices are creeping him out. It sounds like an argument, like someone was angry and yelling at someone else who sounded more scared. He called out and asked if anyone needed help. The voices didn't seem to care. He decides to walk towards the voices, but as he was getting closer the voices seemed to be getting further and further away. After 20 minutes he gave up and walked back. He got a radio call, and they said the other guy was found passed out covered in vomit and was being taken to the hospital. Then the radio died. Then the voices came back. Scared out of his mind, he decided to listen to what they were arguing about, picking up things like, "Well, it wasn't yours to take. I don't effing care, you knew better," and so on. His guess was two hunters arguing over a kill. Then he heard one shout something, then silence, then bang. A gunshot. He doused his fire and hid. After that he heard nothing, just his breathing for the next half hour until he saw ATV lights. He told the guy picking him up everything, and they called back. They had people looking for 3 hours and found nothing. They came back the next day with police and dogs. After about an hour a shallow grave was found, and in it was a long dead man who had clearly been shot in the face. The creepy thing was that it was a skeleton who had been there for years. So either the argument he heard just ended with a bang and both parties went home, or he heard the murder of someone from years ago.
We are fucked and nobody seems to care! Oh!
Wusstest du, dass im Jahr 2008 in Alabama ein ganzes Viertel Halloween abgesagt hat, nachdem 22 Kinder verschwanden, nachdem sie einer als Hase verkleideten Person gefolgt waren? Es sollte nur eine ganz normale Halloween-Nacht sein. Ein ruhiges Viertel in Alabama. Häuser dekoriert, Kürbisse, Lichter in den Fenstern. Kinder in Kostümen liefen von Tür zu Tür, um Süßigkeiten zu sammeln. Doch in dieser Nacht tauchte jemand anderes auf. Ein Mann in einem alten, schmutzigen, weißen Hasenkostüm. Niemand wusste, wer er war. Er gehörte zu keinem der Häuser in der Straße. Die Kinder folgten ihm. Sie sagten, sagten, er habe sie gerufen, versprach bessere Süßigkeiten, ein größeres Haus. Und eines nach dem anderen verschwanden 22 Kinder in dieser Nacht. Keine Schreie, keine Zeugen, nur kleine Fußspuren, die zu einem Feldweg führten. Und am Ende davon nichts. Nur ein altes, zerbrochenes Schild mit einem aufgemalten Hasen. Die Polizei suchte wochenlang. Hubschrauber, Suchhunde, Nachtpatrouillen. Aber keine Hinweise, keine Spur, nichts. Seit jenem Jahr feierte das Viertel nie wieder Halloween. Die Häuser blieben verschlossen, das Licht aus. Und selbst heute sagen manche, wenn man dort entlang geht, hört man immer noch Kinder in den Wäldern lachen. Manche schwören, dass sie einen weißen Hasen gesehen haben, wie er im Dunkeln wartet.
Most dangerous man to have ever stepped foot on Earth. And he was kind of cute. During the 1930s, a man named Hugh Jass was arrested for taking the lives of over 200 people with just his thumb in 1934. He escaped his first prison by flushing himself down the toilet and crawling miles through the sewage system. But 67 days later, he was captured after attempting to apply for a job at the same prison he escaped from. He was then sent to Gilligan's Island Penitentiary, which was the most secure prison in the world, hundreds of miles away from civilization. Hugh was kept in the basement of the prison, isolated from the other prisoners, in fear for their safety. But in the year 1949, the prison was hit by a massive tsunami and was buried underneath the sea. 5 years later, the prison would finally reemerge, and investigators were safe to enter the prison again. They would end up finding the remains of all the prisoners and guards. But when they went down to the basement where Hugh was kept, they would quickly realize they were not as safe as they once thought.
Types. Types of mind.
Hi, new friend.
Hi.
What are you doing?
Nothing.
Nothing. It's impossible to do nothing, silly.
Oh, I guess I'm sitting on my bed. I was eating dinner with my dad, but he was being so annoying.
Oh, that sucks. My dad is literally the most annoying person in the world.
No, mine is.
They're like first and second place most annoying dads.
Like they go to competitions probably. Like they study each other's moves on video in slow motion, analyzing how to be the most annoying.
You're really funny.
Oh my god. No, so random. I like your screen name, BFF Forever.
Oh,
What's your real name?
real names suck. Hey, I have an idea. You want to give each other nicknames?
Like what?
Like, I'll call you Shelly Belly. And you can just call me Bestie. It'll be like a secret just between us.
Okay. Bestie?
Shelly Belly. Who's that little guy?
Oh, nothing. Just this dumb thing from when I was a kid. I don't even know why it's here.
Well, he's so cute. What's his name?
Pink Bear? He used to be pink. Now he's more like a gray. I think he might be a mouse, actually.
Well, I love him. Whatever he is. Cool poster. I love Pippin.
Wait, you know Pippin?
Of course.
Oh my god, I'm literally obsessed with that soundtrack.
No, Amy too.
Like, we did it last summer at camp,
Stop. I'm literally dying right now.
and I played Catherine. But I can actually sing when you play it better.
I love it. You said that.
Mom, where were you? Why didn't you save me? Why didn't you protect me? I was dying and you didn't even notice. You were supposed to be there.
Tem que entender, gente, paciência é tudo que eu não tenho.
Herzlichen Glückwunsch. Sie wurden für die Nachtschicht im alten, stillgelegten Landesgefängnis eingestellt. Das Gefängnis wurde vor 20 Jahren stillgelegt, aber das Management besteht noch immer darauf, dass nachts jemand dort Wache hält. Sie haben Ihnen eine Liste mit 3 Regeln hinterlassen. Befolge die Regeln sorgfältig. Regel 1. Die Zellentüren bleiben immer verschlossen. Ganz egal, wer Sie von innen anfleht oder um Hilfe ruft. Wie ich bereits betont habe, im Gefängnis ist seit 20 Jahren niemand mehr. Regel 2. Vielleicht erscheint ein Gefangener im Flur des Blocks 4c. Bleiben Sie nicht stehen und schauen Sie ihn nicht an. Wenn Sie das tun, wird er anfangen, Ihnen zu folgen. Regel 3. Um 2:30 Uhr erhalten Sie eine E-Mail, in der Ihr Name steht. Über die Lautsprecher werden Sie ebenfalls Ihren Namen hören. Schalten Sie dann alles aus und verlassen Sie sofort den Raum. Vor 20 Jahren wurde der letzte Wächter genau zu dieser Zeit bewusstlos aufgefunden. Viel Glück.
Sie dachte, sie sei
Did you know in United States
A raspy voice whispered, "You're not supposed to answer." He hung up. Then the lights cut out. The air turned ice cold, and outside, fog rolled in from nowhere. A dark car pulled up, engine silent, windows blacked out. Jared opened the drawer for his flashlight and found a toll ticket with his name on it, date stamped 3 days in the future. The driver never rolled down the window, just waited. Jared refused to open the gate, so the car disappeared, not drove off, vanished into thin air. When the morning shift arrived, Jared was gone. The booth was locked from the inside, and the only thing left was the phone, off the hooks, and a new ticket. With the next person's name, they shut down exit 34 the same week, but truckers still say they hear a phone ringing when they drive by, even though the booth isn't there anymore.
Did you know that a single hit of salvia can transport someone to a world where they feel like they've lived an entire lifetime? One man shared his mind-bending experience online. With just one puff, his room melted away, and he found himself in a bizarre geometric realm where everything pulsed like living fabric. At first, he thought it was merely a dream, but then decades seemed to pass in the blink of an eye. In this strange world, he had a job, a family, and a home made of glowing crystal walls. He recalled birthdays, the scents of familiar meals, and the faces of people who never existed on Earth. The sky above him was a color beyond description, and the beings he encountered communicated in intricate patterns instead of words. But then, just as suddenly as it began, he died in that world, closing his eyes as if for the last time. Moments later, he woke up on his couch, drool on his chin, only 5 minutes having passed. For days, he mourned the wife and children he lost, people who were never real. Doctors label it a hallucination, yet neuroscientists are baffled by how the brain can conjure decades of memories in mere seconds. So what did he truly experience? A fleeting chemical dream or a glimpse into a life he might have lived somewhere else?
Sie bemerkten einen losen Ziegel auf dem Boden, also hoben sie ihn an, nur um zu sehen, was darunter lag. Sie fanden eine versteckte Luke, im Beton vergraben, etwas ihnen völlig Unbekanntes. Sie hatten keine Ahnung, dass sie im Begriff waren, die dunkelsten Geheimnisse ihrer Familie aufzudecken. Ihre Familie hatte seit Generationen in diesem Haus gelebt, und doch hatte niemand jemals über diese Luke gesprochen. Als er versuchte, sie weiter aufzubrechen, erwähnte sie eine unheimliche Legende aus dem ländlichen Pennsylvania. Einheimische sagten, unterirdische Gänge seien vor Jahrzehnten versiegelt worden, nachdem ein barfüßiger Mann herausgekommen war und behauptete, er habe Kinder gesehen, die darunter lebten. Seitdem tauchten immer wieder seltsame unterirdische Strukturen genau in dieser Region auf. Als sich also der Tunnel öffnete, fürchteten sie, es könnte einer jener Gänge sein, die niemand jemals wieder betreten sollte. Denkt daran, ich beschütze nur meine Abonnenten, die ihren Namen kommentieren und dieses Video teilen. Trotz der Warnungen ging er tiefer hinein.
Oh my God.
Da entdeckte er etwas, das im Dunkeln lag und ihm den Magen zusammenzog. Es gibt ein furchterregendes YouTube-Video, das genau zeigt, was sie im Tunnel gefunden haben. Die Leute sagen, es sei so verstörend, dass man es sich gar nicht ansehen sollte. Aber wenn du es wirklich willst, tippe auf Teilen, dann mehr, dann YouTube.
Wenn ihr jemals so einen Anruf bekommt, macht nicht das, was er gemacht hat. Mike war 5 Jahre lang mit Sarah verheiratet und sie war die Liebe seines Lebens und er wusste ab Sekunde 1, dass er sie auf jeden Fall heiraten wird. Und dieser Fakt macht es für ihn noch schwieriger nachvollziehbar, warum seine Frau von heute auf morgen einfach verschwunden ist. Und bis heute, 15 Jahre später, hat bis jetzt keiner eine Ahnung, was mit ihr damals passiert ist. Niemand sieht sich so sehr nach Antworten wie Mike. Die Polizei hat damals sogar eine Belohnung ausgesetzt, doch keine Hinweise kamen. Mike denkt wirklich sehr oft an Sarah und bringt es auch nicht übers Herz, die ganzen Fotos aus dem Haus zu verbannen. Nach 2 Tagen ist er dann wieder tief in Gedanken verloren, dass er fast sein Haustelefon überhört. War es auch komisch, weil normalerweise ruft ihn niemand auf dem Haustelefon an. Nummer unbekannt. Ist bestimmt wieder irgendein Scammer. Nimmt trotzdem den Hörer ab. Einmal hört er nur ein komisches Rauschen am anderen Ende. Hallo? Stille. Mike, zum Glück habe ich dich endlich erreicht. Flüstert eine Frauenstimme am anderen Ende ins Telefon. Ich bin es, Sarah, deine Frau. Bist du da? Mikes Herz setzt für eine Sekunde aus. Sarah? Nein, das kann nicht sein. Sie wird seit 15 Jahren vermisst. Haben schon so viele versucht anzurufen. Ich fall darauf nicht mehr rein. Mike, ich bin es, Sarah, deine Frau. Warum tut sie das? Es sind mittlerweile 15 Jahre vergangen. Eine kurze Pause. Ich bin deine Frau, Sarah. Mike hat genug und warnt die Frau. Rufen Sie mich nie wieder an. Und das war's und seine Warnung war deutlich genug. Nächsten Tag ist ein Freund von ihm da und während die einfach miteinander reden, klingelt auf einmal wieder das Telefon. Er nimmt ab und er hört wieder das Rauschen. Mike, zum Glück habe ich dich endlich erreicht. Ich bin es, Sarah. Im Zweifel war es die gleiche Frau wie gestern. Ich weiß genau, dass Sie nicht meine Frau Sarah sind. Sofort auf mich anzurufen, ansonsten rufe ich die Polizei. Und legt er das Telefon auf. Sarah? Komplett verwirrt schaut ihn sein Freund an. Mike erklärt ihm kurz, dass es sich wahrscheinlich um einen Prankcaller handelt. Sie reden auch nicht weiter darüber, um nicht noch mehr Wunden aufzureißen. Nächsten Morgen wird er vom Klingeln des Haustelefons geweckt. Diesmal ist er richtig sauer. Irgendjemand spielt die ganze Zeit mit seinen Gefühlen. Er hört das Rauschen und dann wieder die Frauenstimme. Mike, zum Glück habe ich dich endlich erreicht. Ich bin es, Sarah. Jetzt haben sie die Grenze endgültig überschritten. Ich rufe jetzt die Polizei. Ich bin es doch, deine Frau Sarah. Du bist nicht Sarah. Auf Wiedersehen. Und Mike weiß zu 100.000%, dass es nicht Sarah ist. Denn schließlich war es Mike, der Sarah vor 15 Jahren umgebracht hat. Wenn ihr noch mehr solche Gruselstories wollt, dann folgt mir doch endlich mal.
Can you do a song with Annie Frank and the Jews? It basically depends on a price, how much they're going to charge me for a feature. Annie Frank, I mean, she's pretty famous, so who knows how much she's going to charge me. Annie Frank probably charges about $1,000 just for a feature.
I've always had a terrible fear of being submerged completely in water. Not that I can't swim or anything. My dad made me learn. He said I almost drowned when I was really young. I was afraid of it because, for as long as I can remember, whenever I am underwater and look up at the surface, I see a woman reaching down to me with a warm smile, with glowing golden hair and dark blue eyes. Even if it's just in a bathtub. It always happened. It was just normal for me. But I never got used to it. It was unnerving, but also soothing at the same time. She always made me feel like it was okay. I still avoided it though, because I was just a kid and it was really freaky. I never told my dad about it as a kid, but I did ask him about my mom. He never wanted to talk about her. Sometimes he even got mad at me for trying too hard to bring it up. It was only recently that I described this apparition to him. He nearly drove into a telephone pole. Obviously, he knew something. I asked him again about my mom. He still would say much, except that she died when I was very young, and that she loved me very much. He also admitted that her hair and eyes were those colors, just like mine. So I did some research on my own, looking up her name for myself on my birth certificate and trying to find any references I could. Any news clips about a boy nearly drowning, anything. I mostly wanted a picture, something I could match to my guardian angel. Today, buried in our town library, I found it. Winchester. Marie Withy, 28, drowned to death yesterday evening after climbing a razor wire fence and fleeing to a nearby reservoir. A funeral is scheduled by her family for the 25th. Marie was institutionalized just 6 months ago after being found not guilty of attempted murder on grounds of insanity. Her husband, Daniel Withy, had acted quickly enough to rescue their infant child when she was found trying to drown him in a bathtub.
Last summer, I took a solo road trip through the mountains. I wanted some time away from everything. Just me, my thoughts, and the open road. I was driving late one night when my car started sputtering and eventually died. I managed to coast to the side of a desolate road, completely cut off from civilization. My phone had no signal, and it was pitch black outside. I remembered passing a small town about 10 miles back, so I decided to walk there and look for help. After what felt like hours of walking, I finally saw a faint glow of lights ahead. As I got closer, I realized it wasn't a town, but a single house. It was an old, run-down farmhouse, but at that point, I didn't care. I just needed a phone. I knocked on the door, and after a moment, a middle-aged woman answered. She looked startled to see me, but eventually invited me in. The inside of the house was even more decrepit than the outside. The wallpaper was peeling, and the furniture looked like it hadn't been touched in decades. She offered me some water and let me use her phone. I called a tow truck, and they said they'd be there in about an hour. While I waited, I made small talk with the woman. She seemed nice enough, but had an odd way about her. Every now and then, she'd glance at a closed door at the end of the hallway with a nervous look in her eyes. I asked her if she lived alone, and she hesitated before saying yes. About half an hour later, I heard faint shuffling noises coming from behind that door. I asked her if she was sure she was alone. She laughed nervously and assured me it was just the house settling, but her eyes told a different story. Follow for part 2.